Doordash has become one of the most popular gig apps, so we're going to get into why DoorDashers are quitting DoorDash. Let's talk about it. Hey y'all, I'm James Eddie. You can just call me Jamie. Over here I do lifestyle and travel content, so if that's your cup of tea, you know what to do. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and please don't forget to join the community. And for my returning subbies, what's up my babies? What's up? Now let's get into today's video. So in today's video, I'm going to give you some reasons why DoorDashers are out there quitting DoorDashers, myself as well in particular. I had my reasons why I quitted DoorDash, so we're going to go ahead and talk about those reasons. And reason number one we're going to get into is the pay is not consistent. Yes, DoorDash is considered a side hustle, but you have many that DoorDash is a full-time job for them. You get what I'm saying? So the pay is really not consistent. DoorDash pay is not consistent. The pay is low, and then you have a lot of dashers out there that's just depending on tips in general, and not all of the time customers are going to tip. So if the pay is low and you're not getting any tips, how are you supposed to live off that? That's not a livable wage. And then you also got to factor in the area that you are living in. Some areas the dashers might get paid good, but if you have other areas out there that don't get paid very well at all, so you have to factor in that the pay is not consistent. You have to factor in that not all of the time that you will get tips, and it's nothing that you can really do about that. Next, I want to get into high vehicle expenses. Now, this is a big one, and this was a big one for me that I had to factor in. I didn't have a car, so I was renting a car. So you have to factor in the fact that you have to pay for that vehicle. Now, when it comes to DoorDash, you don't have no vehicle that you can rent from DoorDash. You can rent from Uber Eats. So if you're paying $65 a day, that adds up, especially if you're not making that much when it comes to DoorDash. So you have to factor in the high vehicle expenses that you have to pay. You have to factor in, and I say this all of the time, you have to factor in the wear and tear that you're putting on your vehicle. Now, if you don't have a rental car to pay for, you have to factor in that I have my car. So what are the necessities that my car needs? Well, your car might need new tires. 4 set of tires could come out roughly to about over $600, depending on the type of vehicle that you have. You got to factor in maintenance on the car. If your car needs a tune-up, you have to factor in the fact that gas prices. So the gas prices over $3. If you're in California, those gas prices over $5 per gallon. So you have to factor in things like that when it comes to high vehicle expenses. Then if you have a car that's over 150,000 miles and your car only goes to 200,000 miles, you're going to need a new car to be able to do DoorDash. So those are some things you want to consider about why that's a main reason, one of the reasons why I quit DoorDash. It just becomes too much. You can't do that all the time. I also want to talk about the delivery distance and the unfair payouts. A lot of times I would decline a order where it comes to they want you to drive, let's say 10-15 miles for $2, $3. In what world would somebody really drive that? Gas is more than that. So why would I drive that to take someone their food? Because you have to factor in you going to drive that miles and then you're not getting nothing in return to come back. So that don't even make no sense. Really, DoorDash, that don't make any sense at all. Then you have these stack orders where if one customer tips, right? Say if you have 2 or 3 stack order, one, maybe 2 customers might tip, but then you have that other customer that doesn't tip. How is that even fair? How does that even make sense? People still have to live. Another reason I want to talk about is the oversaturation of drivers. It's a lot of DoorDash drivers. When I say it's a lot of DoorDash drivers, it's a lot of DoorDash drivers. Then you have a lot of DoorDash drivers that's competing for limited orders. Competing for limited orders. You might have, when you open the app, it might say the area is very, very busy. But if you have a great, a top notch, if you're a top dasher and you have an acceptance rate below 50, they're going to give orders to the top dasher first before they give orders to somebody like you with a acceptance rate below 50. They always going to get the best orders compared to somebody like me who acceptance rate was below 50. So you have to factor in things like that. That's another reason why I stopped doing DoorDash, because it just became too much, and they want you to do too much for too little. Another reason why I quit DoorDash is DoorDash has a thing of doing lack of transparency. So not all the time DoorDash will show the full payout. And if you're not understanding what I'm saying is, not all the time DoorDash shows the full payout up front. So you're thinking you're getting a certain amount when sometimes it's really not that at all. It's really not that at all. So they have a lack of transparency. And I remember one time I called the DoorDash line because it was something dealing with a customer. And I'm thinking, I drove all this way, I'm getting a certain amount of pay, when in reality DoorDash only wanted to give me $3, and I drove all this way for this customer, and being that I couldn't complete it, I only get $3. Another reason, and then on top of that, DoorDash likes to prioritize, the platform likes to prioritize people like top dasher. If you got silver, if you got gold, they like to prioritize those people, so they get all the good orders, wherein people who under 50, they get crappy orders. They just throw us the crappy orders, so they accept us to take the crappy orders, while the top dasher and the people at the top, they get all the great orders. Nobody got time for that. I'm not about to put up with that. I don't care what nobody say. I ain't putting up with that for nobody. Another reason why I quit DoorDash is because of the stress and burnout of it. DoorDash too stressful for me. I ain't even been that stressed. I've been in the Army. When I was in the Army, I ain't been that stressed. So why would I be stressed? Let an app stress me out and burn me out. It's just not worth it. And you're constantly hustling to make ends meet, but it's really not matching up. It's really not matching up to make ends meet. It's already hard enough out here. And for DoorDash to really do that to his drivers, it make me want to take a step back and really not mess with them. So I deleted the app up off my phone. Like I deleted that app up off my phone because I'm like, no, it's not worth it. I'm not going to do that. I'll just hustle, try to find me another job, and go hard on my YouTube. It's not worth it. Ain't nobody, no job, no gig app worth my mental health. And I don't care what nobody say. They might be like, oh, you weak and all that. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't care what you say, because I ain't here to impress you. I'm not here to impress you. I'm doing this for me. You don't know, you don't have to, I got to go through this for me, not you. I'm not here to please you. So who are you? And then on top of that, you got to think about, you have to deal with these customers when they want you to do so much for so little. You want me to do this and do that and make sure this in the bag, and can you stop and get me blunt and all that, and you don't want to tip, and you ain't tip on top of that? Is you crazy? Is you really crazy? You want me to stop here and do this and stop to the store and get you blunt and get you cigarette and do all this, and you ain't tip? You can go to hell. You really can go to hell. That's what you really can do. I ain't doing, like I said, I wasn't doing nothing extra. I got to the point, was like, I'm not doing nothing extra for you. You gonna get what they give me, and I'll drop it all to you. Another reason that DoorDashers are quitting DoorDash is safety concerns. Sometimes the neighborhoods that DoorDash like to send you in is crazy. Some of these neighborhoods, you really want me to take, and then you be shooting up in this neighborhood, and you really want me to take food to this neighborhood? All right, you really want me to take? Then they got the nerve after you take, because they know that the neighborhood is trash, right? They got the nerve to ask you after you done dropped the food off to the neighborhood. Gonna have a something pop up in the app, be like, "Are you feeling safe, or is it safe and all that?" So if you're gonna send me that in the app, you already know that the neighborhood isn't safe. So why would you send me that? Why would you ask me to go there if you already know isn't safe and you want me to answer it after the fact? Then you have to deal with customers and they confrontation. Then you got to deal with traffic. Nobody has time for that when it comes to dealing with these gig apps. It's not worth it. I'll get it how I live, and I don't care who got something to say about it or feel some type of way about it. I always been a hustler. I always been a grinder. The army taught me that, and I'm going to get it how I live, and I don't care who got a problem with it or who got something to say about it. But those are some of the reasons why I quit DoorDash, and other people have quit DoorDash. If you have any questions about any gig apps, quitting DoorDash, leave it in the comment section. Or if you have any questions about anything, leave it in the comment section, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Bye.